Hello there, I am Jobel Wintrott and I help influential leaders leverage their brand. This is a part of an exceptional series of videos and I'm thrilled to be part of this Reconnection Collection with Lottie Moore and all the other amazing guests and speakers within this collective. So I have spent the last 10 years in the profession of helping people to show up. And obviously on camera, what happens when we have to show up on camera is that we have to truly dig to a deeper part of ourselves to be really good. So over the next 30 minutes, I'm going to unpick what it is to be good on camera. And yes, if you've got a business, this is really applicable to you because hopefully in the next 30 minutes, you will be able to gain some insight into what you can do to give more impactful videos. But if you're not in a business and you're just someone at home who is now having to spend an incredible amount of time on video, talking to family, talking to friends, and you may have a little bit of a phobia about a video, then this is for you too. It covers the whole spectrum. So what I hope to do over the next 30 minutes is to really examine what happens, what is our process when we have to look at ourselves on camera. So I'm one of the first to admit that I used to hate having my photographs taken. I would bulk and I would skulk back, and I was quite small anyway, so people just generally didn't see me. And I was happy with that. And then eventually, through my career, my visibility started to increase. And then the day I started my business as an entrepreneur, obviously to be an entrepreneur and to be successful as an entrepreneur as a founder of the business, you really have to get used to showing up. You really have to get used to being seen and being heard. That was 10 years ago, and the evolution in video and visibility online and social media has obviously skyrocketed. Now that we're in this situation of lockdown, everyone is on video. Zoom is doing phenomenally well. And even grandparents are really getting used to doing little videos, talking to their grandchildren. It's the medium, and phones are about video now, as well as phone calls, but most people are on video. But this will give you an insight and also give you some assurance that there is something you can do to get over this. And if you are struggling with video, or you kind of have this little funny flip in your tummy when you have to go to the video and you have to go on Skype, I can promise you by the end of this session, you'll feel a whole lot different about that flip, and I will give you strategies to get used to the fact that that doesn't need to happen because there's nothing to have the flip about. Okay, so let's start with what happens when we look at the camera. The first thing we do is look at ourselves, or we imagine, if someone's actually taking a picture of you, we imagine what we're going to look like on the other side of that camera. That moment, that second, is the one that a lot of people really don't enjoy. Some of you might be used to camera, but by and large, generally speaking, most of us have a moment when you think, okay, how do I look? Oh my God, what is that going to come out like? Is my hair right? Or, do I look okay? Or, oh gosh, have I got the right outfit? Especially when it comes to professional and business shots, obviously. And at the moment, if social media is part of your remit, it's there, isn't it? It's an imprint. The minute we upload anything to Facebook or LinkedIn, wherever, it's there. It's permanent until you decide to delete it. But very quickly things can actually get really spread if you happen to do something that, like the family who've just done the incredible Les Mis takeoff, they are all over the news now. I can bet you that one or a number of those members of family think, oh God, I wish I'd worn something different. So this is what happens with all my professionals that I deal with, and they come to me because they've seen themselves on video, either in a picture or on actual video footage of them speaking at an event, or in one of my cases, one of my clients is TV's Martin Roberts, so Homes Under the Hammer guy. So he'd just come out of the jungle, and he was to say he was put down and given a lot of criticism for his look and his kind of very shabby, kind of relaxed look. It's an understatement. And he got such a slating for it in the public. And obviously he's a TV celebrity, so that really didn't do him any good, or did it? So the interesting thing about TV and PR is actually there's always a slant that you can turn things around. But anyway, back to you. But obviously, how we look on camera, it all starts with how we think about what we see. And the bad news is, folks, is that what people see isn't what really truly matters. It's how we see ourselves. And I just want to go through some little thought processes with you that actually, from here on in, I'd like you to think about not what is seen on the outside. And I'm an image consultant, so this is part of my deal, and I give people the tools of how to look better on camera, the right colors to wear. Is my color, well, I was doing a color analysis the other day online. I look at the best image, fabric, all of that matters in that first impression. But this whole summit is about reconnection. And I'd like to ask you to really think about how can you start reconnecting with what's on the inside? Because when I take this jacket off and I take the earrings off and the necklace, underneath it is just me. And the thing I've had to learn as I've got more progressive and I've got a TV show now, the Amijo show on my YouTube channel, I couldn't have done that 10 years ago without doing a lot of work to realize that it's not what people see. It's what you see from the inside out. It's how you see yourself. And that's not about a silver jacket and a pink top. That is actually about within. So when you are looking at the camera, not only is this what's on show, but actually what's inside is on show. What people hear is on show. So when we use our voice, we connect with different parts of our body. I used to be a whisperer. I used to have a very, very light voice that nobody could hear. I mumbled. People used to say, oh, can you speak up all the time? Can you speak up, Joe? I didn't believe in myself enough to have any volume in my voice, let alone have the cadence and the volume and the tonality, as I was scared of being heard. And that was my history, and that was my thing that I had to sort out to get used to my voice. And I did some amazing workshops with a sound therapist called Laurel Rond, who I highly recommend. But she helped me through her workshops, and Lottie also was on those workshops too, to reconnect with my true voice, because I'd forgotten I had one, and I'd also forgotten how to use it. And then consequently, and only 2.5 years ago, not only have I reconnected my voice so much in my business and doing video, but I've fulfilled a dream and a lifelong ambition, and that was to become a singer in a band. And I've recorded my first few songs literally in the last few weeks. So you can really connect with your voice. We all deserve to be heard. But that again takes some doing if we're not used to it. So it's all part of what we see on the camera. So what I'd say is to start reconnecting with your voice is to give yourself permission to be that little bit louder. Give yourself permission to sing that little bit louder. We should all be singing. It's in our nature. We're I struggle to say that. Biorhythmical, and we like beat. We like boom, 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 boom. That's our heartbeat. Singing is in our nature. Everyone should be singing, and there's no such thing as I can't sing. So get your families together. Put on the karaoke on YouTube. There's loads of them. I do this all the time with my kids. We do it in the car. We sing at the top of our voice, and it's so good for the soul and heart. You reconnect through the energy, through the vibration, and also you reconnect with your voice. You start allowing yourself to be more expressive and more bolder in using what's within. So I'm going to share you a little secret with you. One of my friends is a phenomenal rock star called Bruce Dickinson. He's the lead singer of Iron Maiden. So he has been in this very lounge, sat on this very sofa playing my guitar, and he gave me a singing lesson once, which I will never ever forget. And I'm going to share this with you because I want you to realize that singing is not about, and singing and speaking, same thing. It's not about having a skill set particularly. Yes, okay, you can learn to sing well, but just to be able to sing and sing loudly, you need nothing but you. So Bruce was in this room. We were just having a chat and a coffee, and he was playing my guitar and just wrote a song like you do when you're the lead singer of Iron Maiden. And he actually went through an exercise with me to do with our diaphragm, and it was so impactful and powerful off the scale. So we tend to think that our voice needs to be impacted from our mouth, and that we need to kind of really exhale really loudly and powerfully to be loud. Bruce picked up a candle, a votive candle that was and we lit the candle. He said, light the candle. And he lit it and he held it in front of him. And he did this. He just pushed out his diaphragm. He pushed out his ribs and his diaphragm. And he sang so loud, I thought I'd gone deaf. He sang a line from one of his songs, Run to the Hills. And he just came out with it. And it was so loud, it was literally vibrating around the room way after he'd finished. The candle didn't go out. The candle still flickered. And this is the voice that fills an arena with thousands of people in it. So the point is, folks, we all have the ability to be bolder with how we talk, to be bolder to sing. We don't need anything else apart from what we have here. If you practice exercises with your diaphragm, pushing your diaphragm out and inhaling at the same time and squeezing, Bruce said it's like you're like a squeeze box. Squeeze in that diaphragm and your ribs at the same time. You can sing louder than you'll ever do. And if you practice it, you'll just work that muscle and you'll get better and better at it. That's how he can sing his incredible operatic, heavy metal voice fill stadiums for hundreds of thousands of people. I think 200,000 is the biggest gig he's done. He does that just from his voice, and he did it in my lounge, and it was just incredible. That really made me realize that we can all be louder, and we all deserve to be louder because we need to be heard. So hopefully that's a fun exercise for you to do. And then we come on to what is on the outside. And the other point of connecting with who we are on the inside to be seen is actually to realize this just needs to be us. Okay, so if you are doing lots of video and you're especially for this is more for professionals that are needing to go on video, let people see the real you. We're all at home now. I could do a wardrobe change during this video. I could just run upstairs and change my jacket and be down in 30 seconds. But it's really important when we dress across wherever we're going after this episode in our lives, whatever we do, we really should be showing up dressed for us only. I could not tell you how many times, even now, my friends will text me and say, Joe, what are you wearing tonight to go out? And that checking in with your friends thing, classic case of, oh my gosh, what are they wearing? Because I need to know, because I don't want to stand out. Folks, the good news, but actually the bad news, but the good news is we're born to stand out. Okay, so when you go to do your video calls and when you go to be visible and when you go to be visible after this, take out that equation, take out that thought and just let it go. Because what you wear and how you look and what the clothes you wear, there's only one person that really should believe in that and own that, and that is you. Because we deserve to be expressing ourselves. We deserve to be showing up as different, and that doesn't mean wearing what everyone else does. I do a lot of talking about speaking on stage about uniform and about blending in syndrome. It's something we really suffer from in the UK particularly, and cultures around the world where there's this feeling that we should be fitting in. But actually what we're doing is we're recreating almost a school environment, because what we're actually doing is recreating a new uniform. So most of us hated wearing a uniform as a kid, and then we become an adult, and then guess what? We start wearing a uniform again. We recreate the uniform. I call it the Mayfair Minions effect. So walk around Mayfair and see thousands of guys in suits and shirts, all exactly the same. Dark navy or white shirts, or maybe a pale blue shirt, or a dark chocolate suit. Minions, they look exactly the same. There's no expression of identity. There's no creativity. And there can be colour, there can be different styles, different shoes. We deserve to be expressive. And one of my wishes for this whole period is actually we all come out of this time really believing and seeing how unique we are, because everyone is in their home environment, and I know some people are having huge challenges with that, but we are actually evolving from within again, because we're having to stay where we are, doing just what we do. I'm a parent. I've got twin girls of 13 years. They're doing their stuff now because it's school holidays, but parenting is part of my role. Looking after my dog is part of my role. Running this house by myself is part of my role. But I'm endorsing, embracing all that at the moment, doing different things of writing and creativity and writing songs, and because actually what I've realized I'm doing is nourishing all that just I want to be. And that's a very healthy way to be right now, because that's all we can be. We can't go out, we can't go to do anything. So it's a really valuable time to think, well, why don't I do something that I've always wanted to do, learn to paint or record a song. There's a great app if you're intrigued by singing. I know so many women would like to sing. I speak to most of my clients are women, and that most people and men want to record a song. So there's an app called Smule, Smule. They should be giving me commission because I'm recommending them to everyone. But you can go on there and record a song. But why not use this time to be really, really visible, to be kind of visible in your own environment, and then take that out with you when this pause finishes, because it will, and we will be able to lead our new norm lives, as I call it. It won't be normal as before, and I think that will be a very good thing for us, but our new norm, and we can be more visible and be more expressive. So that does mean engaging with ourselves from the within and allowing ourselves expressively without. So what I'm trying to say there is that it has to be connection. And here's the reason why all of this makes a difference. And all of this could make a difference for you right now, because if you really start really allowing yourself to reconnect with who you are from the inside, and allow your voice to come through, allow your image to be more you, then we start creating something called congruence. And it is one of the most powerful things that we can be. Because yes, some of you might be parents, and yes, some of you might spend a lot of time hopefully over the holidays in relaxed and in tracksuits and everything else. But also, who else are you? So just finally, I just want to come over this little bit, because there's a really kind of interesting dichotomy at the moment, because obviously I'm a remote worker. This is my book, by the way, because I've been remote working from home for 9 years. But there's a dichotomy that some people are facing now that never faced before, and that is, well, how do I put myself in these different roles? Because most of us are hopefully working, if you haven't had your job furloughed, but to flip into different modes requires definitely a kind of a shift in ourselves, and that is perfectly healthy and good. But actually, it's really worth embracing that and saying, well, what does that business person look like now? And actually, these things can intermingle. They don't have to be disjointed. So you can bring into your home life and your business life professionally all that you want to. and that is part again of being expressive. Yeah, a lot of my work is about image and about showing up. But actually, the very first thing I get my clients to do is really think about what their values are. What matters to you? And it's always family, and it's always, what you do on the outside world and what you believe in, and your background. And it's a really good time for us now to reconnect with that and say, actually, that really matters to me, and allow that to shine. And on camera, obviously it does, or not. I was at a TV Training Academy workshop, which I did, and I highly recommend if you are interested in getting really good behind the camera and knowing how to do TV work as well as just your own video. TV Training Academy UK run the best courses ever. Brian is just a scream. He's an absolute brilliant host, and he will have you laughing and giggling. But he went through an exercise on our course, and I had next to me on the couch a lady who was a love coach, and she just was, you could tell, she's like, oh my gosh, she's so in the right job. She was just a bundle of joy and smiles and hugs and this big oozing of warmth and positive energy. And when we got our outfits out to change, to go on to camera, she got out this black outfit and then another black outfit. And I just was absolutely stunned. And obviously, just a quick bit on that. So colour is really impactful, hugely, and it impacts on the messaging we give. But actually, aside from that, it actually doesn't suit very many people. And it wasn't one of her colours. Very few people actually suit the colour black, but it's a cool colour and it doesn't suit very many people. But she was a love coach as well. And I was just absolutely gobsmacked, because this woman who'd literally kind of just roller coasted into our room and was just the most brightest thing in the room, for her to show up on a professional video for TV work. So we were there to do warm up and create a showcase. It's called a showcase, a show reel for presenting on TV, which is what is one of my aims to do. And she had this black outfit that was just, so black absorbs the light. This is part of the reason with black, it absorbs the light, we can't see it. So anyone I'm coaching on video, like I say, forget black and forget navy. Unless they're of a satin material, those colours absorb the light, they don't retract it. And therefore we have a struggle to see them on camera or in real, because colour isn't colour, it's just light. Different colours, the only thing that makes colours different is light. And black doesn't have any light, especially with certain fabrics. So she put her outfits on, and then she turned to me. And by this point, we'd obviously been connecting during the course, and we were having a laugh, and I was just loving hearing what she does with her work. She was amazing. And she looked at me and she said, so Jo, what do you think of my outfit? But some people say that to me. I get that all the time. Or what do you think of my outfit? And then there's either a smile or a so I get, people ask me this all the time, especially when I'm interviewing them for my show, because everyone knows what I do, and I'm a colour fan. I'm huge into colour. But her face dropped as she said, God, what have I brought? Why have I brought these clothes? Why have I brought black? And in the end, I didn't have to say anything, because she wasn't really asking my opinion. She was just expressing the fact that she realised that moment in time she'd done the very opposite to what she was trying to coach people to do, which was to really, really be expressive. And yes, hers was more expressive through communication and talking and really, tools to talk effectively and impactively to your partner. But because she'd showed up with all these black outfits, that we don't engage with dark colours, we engage with brightness. It was a contradiction in her message. And when we left at the end of the day, she said, right, I promise you, Brian Naylor, who's just such fun, he said, I promise you I will be back, and next time I bring you my pink. So it was just her brand colour too. So there's a whole, and all of this is covered in my YouTube channel. So your brand color and the colors that work for you, when you get the same one used, Sapnapiro is a client of mine in a Visions ID. She uses her red, that's her perfect red to wear, for her brand red, so that you get this incredible, powerful connectivity with your brand and yourself. So anyway, her pink was this magenta pink. So she went back and she did some video with wearing this incredible pink color, which was one of her colors, and just lit her face. It screamed this message of love. Obviously pink's the traditional color, and she felt really connected with what she was wearing, and therefore her message, and therefore her purpose, which was to help people in relationships. So that's an extreme case of, actually, some people really do worry about it. And the thing I haven't mentioned is that she was quite a large lady, and she was really aware of her weight at that time, and it's one of the first things she's disclosed to me. So she was hiding in black. And this is something I come across a hell of a lot with professional women, especially, that they hide in black. They're scared of looking feminine, so they wear themselves, head to toe black almost, and wear black constantly because they're scared of looking feminine and being seen, and also wearing the wrong color, because when we do wear the wrong bright color, it can look a bit jarring, especially if you're pale and pasty like me. So I think she had just chosen to hide her body, but her message was so strong, and it didn't work, because her body, her beautiful body. Everyone has a beautiful body. There's no such thing as a beach body. We've all got a beautiful beach body right now. She just was hiding it, and she was scared of really showing up on camera. So that's an extreme of of what can happen in a professional setting. But for you guys right now, I'd just like to ask you to think, actually, how about this is the time I get really proud to be on camera? How about this is the time I really love seeing the fact that I do crazy things. I mean, I'm always faffing with my hair. I look up to the sky a lot. I don't know what, I just do. And we do all these things, but that's because we're human. It's because we're just being natural. And yesterday I was coaching an incredible lady called Louise Jupp, Jupp. Look her up on LinkedIn. She's about to start doing video. She is one of the world's renowned drone experts. This woman is off the scale fascinating. She lives in South Africa, and there is nothing she doesn't know about drones, and she's on a purpose and a mission to encourage global leaders and manufacturers, food manufacturers, to use drones as a healthy and safe way to get better food, healthier food, and all over the planet, not just in these confined areas. But boy, she was so scared about getting on camera. She was really, really worried about being behind a camera. And so that was my session yesterday. So what I'm saying is that you never know what can come out of getting good on camera. And when we start really reconnecting with ourselves and allowing all of us to shine, warts and all, inflections and ums and ahs, who cares really? It really doesn't matter. And actually, the people that we relate to right now in this whole situation, the ones that are getting all the coverage on social media, and the people that really are standing out and shining, there's a lot of women, and that has a whole other conversation about why women are coming up. I believe it's because they're so much more empathetic, and they're compassionate, and they're able to let that shine on camera. They let that come through, but also because they are kind of just more visible. And actually, we are seeing more and more leaders who are, it's easy to be visible now, and they are coming through because they are just more passionate, and they speak from the heart and soul. They're not just reading off a script and saying, well, we're thanking the NHS, they're amazing. How bland does that sound? The messages from the heart are the messages that we really believe in, because when the camera comes on, yes, in that instant we judge what we see, we can't help it, but actually we then relate to what we hear and feel. And I could give you as much energy down this camera now as you watch this video as if you were here in this room with me, face to face, a meter away. Energy is powerful, energy is everything, and it's all about the energy of you. Let that shine, get the karaoke machine ramped up, sing really loud, and just have a great time on camera. Embrace it. This can be a special time. Let's use it as a special time and connect from the inside out, and then reconnect with all our friends and family on a really authentic and wonderful and loving way, loving ourselves and then giving more love out. It's the time to do it. I'm Jabel Wintrot. It's been super to be part of this Reconnection Collection, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you'd like to follow me on any of my social media, just at Jabel Wintrot. Please have a look at my YouTube channel at the moment, The Amijo Show. I'm doing loads of interviews at the moment with lots of great people who've got some support, guidance, and lots of fun to share with you. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and get behind the camera.